Whoa, 50 grand to move here? Oh wow, a lot of people have already applied. But why are they paying people to move here? I wonder what it's like there. Well, I'm here. Pawnee City, Nebraska. Let's go figure out why this town is offering $50,000 for people to move here. This $50,000 incentive, which got a ton of national headlines, is part of a project called Vision 2030. And the organizers hope it sparks a rural renaissance of sorts. The challenges Pawnee City is facing are just one example of much bigger problems that are affecting communities all across America. And Pawnee City desperately needs a turnaround because it could soon be reclassified from a city to a village in the eyes of the state. And that would change everything.
Allowing the community to shrink any farther is not viable.
All right, so let's go see what Pawnee City is doing to fix their problems and see if it could be a solution for other communities that are facing similar issues. A little history first. The town's origin story dates way back to 1857. By the late 1800s, the town hit the jackpot by becoming the junction for two major railroads. The railroads brought an economic boom, a connection to the outside world, and more importantly, population growth. And all of that helped to fund the construction of this downtown district. By 1900, Pawnee City had about 2,000 people, which is the highest population the town had ever seen, and has seen since. And now the town has about 865 residents, which is why there's this new $50,000 incentive to get people to move here. Right now, I'm on my way to meet a local celebrity. This is Steve Glenn.
I grew up in Pawnee City. That was my hometown.
After Steve graduated from the University of Nebraska, where he was a Cornhuskers football player, he became incredibly successful in business.
I've been blessed to have a full life, and now it's my time to try to help my hometown.
Vision 2030 is his brainchild, and as a long-standing influence on the city, he is the driving force behind the project.
Our promotion definitely went viral, but it takes a host of things that we've done and are doing, and that includes hiring an economic development director.
And who is that?
That's Aaron Sawyer.
Why is that guy following you around with a camera?
Yeah, that's a good question. We're telling the story about Pawnee City and the new houses and all the effort we're doing with the amphitheater.
You are?
I'm Aaron Sawyer. I'm the economic development
director.
director.
Real well.
That's right.
Like Steve, Aaron is a big part of Vision 2030. It's Aaron's job to market Vision 2030, to get buy-in from the community and different stakeholders. I spent a full day driving around Pawnee City with Aaron, and it involved pit stops like this.
Stellick Law Firm, which is a multi-generational law firm here, they gave me an office for free, and we might as well stop in. Is that all right?
Of course.
He plays polka music outside. I don't hear the music.
I'm James.
James.
Pleasure to meet you. I keep hearing about the polka music out front.
I'm just sick. We don't have it going.
Can I fiddle with it and just see?
Maybe Aaron's the tech guru you've been looking for, right? I wanted to ask Joe how the city has changed over time, so I pulled him aside while Aaron was busy getting the polka music back on.
My name is Joe Stellick, and I'm the attorney on the corner here.
What do you know about the population problem here in Pawnee City?
The population, we're losing population.
If you look at census data, the population has been in steady decline for over a century. Ultimately, fewer residents means less tax revenue, and less tax revenue makes it harder to maintain things like schools or the hospital and just overall basic infrastructure.
To be very blunt, we're swimming upstream all the time.
In small towns like Pawnee City, populations decline because of a lack of jobs and a lack of perceived opportunity. When the kids don't come back after they go to school, then you have your problem.
Agriculture has always been a huge part of the community, but thanks to advancements in farming technology, along with the rise of factory farming, through the years, the number of farmers in the area steadily shrank. But look, the city has everything a city needs. A downtown district, schools, there's a post office with a mural that was painted as part of the New Deal, there's a 9-hole golf course, a public swimming pool, a pond you can fish, campgrounds, and the Pawnee County Museum, which has this tourist attraction. Larry the Cable Guy is actually from here. More people living here will hopefully set Pawnee City's existing industries up for future growth.
The school, the hospital, and the Alphea are kind of the triumvirate of strength to the community. So we've got jobs. If you look at our largest employer, employ 100 plus people, probably 70% don't live in town.
When we're recruiting a new nurse or a new teacher for the schools or whatever, we need the middle income and top income people to be in town.
But the issue is there's no available housing. You can't find a rental property within 20 miles of Pawnee City on Zillow, and you can find very few houses for sale. And among the few that are, most are dilapidated.
In general, a lot of the homes that were built here was done during the housing boom, or during the population growth, and that was about 100 years ago.
If you had to say what's the order of priority of economic development in a small town, it's housing number 1, housing number 2, and housing number 3. That's the only way to fix the population problem.
And the city's been working hard to clear out old homes to make space for new construction.
Vision 2030 is the vision to build 25 houses over 5 years.
Which for a small community like this is a lot of homes in not a lot of time.
These houses will have 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and an unfinished basement with rough ins for 2 more bedrooms with egress windows and a bathroom. So you could have up to 5 bedrooms in that way.
2 new homes will be listed at $325,000 each. For comparison, the average price for a home here is just over $100,000. Which brings us back to this $50,000 incentive.
A Nebraskan smells a deal that's too good to be true and they go poke at it right away. So this is the conversation I've had probably 100 times. The $50,000 promotion is real, but of course it's not that you just have to get all 10 toes sitting in Pawnee City and I'll hand you a check. If you are willing to move to one of these homes, we will take $50,000 off as a second mortgage. If you ever sell the home, that $50,000 will go back to the state.
The $50,000 is in the form of down payment assistance, basically like taking a second mortgage, just with no payments and 0 interest. But applicants need to meet certain income limitations to qualify.
It's these unicorn Cinderella or whatever candidates we have to find. You have to be able to afford a brand new home, but you can't make too much.
A 1-person household can't make more than $69,450, and a 6-person household can't make more than $115,100.
The ideal people for these homes that we're building here in Pawnee City would be people that work from home. They can get a lot more bang for their buck to come to a small town like this in a safe environment with their same job and just have a much better lifestyle.
Families is a big part of it too, right?
Absolutely, families, yes. Families are the promise of the future. Families fill our schools. Families help every single aspect of our society.
The people behind Vision 2030 believe that through the 25 new homes being built here, about 100 people will move to Pawnee City, which in a town of 865 people makes a big difference.
Anybody that wants to start a new business as well, the Pawnee City needs some amenities. I don't believe we have a dentist right now. There's no nail salon. There's a lot of things that people would be eager to visit and frequent. And if you have one of those skills, we've got storefronts that are next to free, and you should move in and make your money here.
Look at you marketing.
If you do the math, $50,000 on 25 new homes totals to $1.25 million. So where does that money come from?
The Pawnee City Community Foundation got a grant from the Nebraska Affordable Housing Trust Fund for $650,000.
And then when we sold a house, we'd use those proceeds to build another house. And so in theory, off of that one grant, we can build about 12 new houses of the 25.
Speaking of money, whether you're interested in relocating to Pawnee City or elsewhere, when it comes to moving, it's almost always going to cost more than you think. Boxes, trucks, security deposits, new furniture, cleaning fees, 2 weeks of takeout because your kitchen is still in boxes. It all adds up fast. And that's where today's sponsor, Finance Buzz, can help. Head to financebuzz.com, where they've rounded up a list of top credit cards with 0% intro APR. So you could spread out the cost of your move, make payments over time, and skip the interest during the intro period while you're at it. And hey, even if you're not moving, their list of credit cards takes away the time and effort you'd have to spend shopping around to be financially responsible and get the most out of your money. It's basically adulting, but less painful. Click the link in the description, scan the QR code, or go to financebuzz.com/morningbrew. Okay, back to the video. Through my time in Pawnee City, I did come across people who didn't seem too excited about what Steve and Aaron are doing, mostly just resistant to change.
You have to understand, people are in a small town for reasons of quality of life, and they don't want to have too much disruption.
There's always people against anything you do, of course, and you just want to try to bring them into the conversation. Usually a person who's opposing you, they care. Well, so we're starting from a good place. We both care. If you're always in good, honest conversation, it usually goes all right.
So what if Vision 2030 doesn't pan out the way the organizers hope it will? Well, this is where the population problem comes back into play. Because in Nebraska, municipalities are classified by population. A metropolitan city has over 400,000 people. Omaha is the only one. A primary city falls between 100,000 and 400,000. That's Lincoln. First-class cities range from 5,001 to 100,000. Second class covers 801 to 5,000. And anything below 800 is officially a village. And you can see how dangerously close Pawnee City is to that line.
When you get to about 800 people, you can't sustain a grocery store, you can't sustain a hardware store, a pharmacy, hospital, or even a school.
Villages are typically governed by a board of trustees, not a mayor and a city council like it currently is here in Pawnee City, which, more broadly speaking, could alter the fate of Pawnee City as a whole. It could also affect the town's ability to raise or reduce taxes, or hand out fines, or get funding for infrastructure projects. Also, a lot of state and federal grants are tied to a town's municipal status. Outside of all that, reclassification can feel symbolic, like the town is downgrading in a way. Now, there can be benefits for places that reclassify as a village in rural America, but that is definitely not what Pawnee City wants. And Vision 2030 makes that very clear. So it's safe to say Pawnee City does not want to be reclassified as a village.
Absolutely not. You can't have Pawnee, the village of Pawnee City. That doesn't even sound good. It's Pawnee City. It's not Pawnee Village.
The good news is over 1,200 people have filled out the interest form for the homes and the $50,000 incentive, and about 125 of them are already pre-approved for a mortgage. At the end of the day, building homes is just the start of it all.
I was at the city council meeting last night, and they said, we have to make sure we can add 50 houses or 25 houses in our water system and sewer system. So, you know, that's the next step we have to go.
And while there are plenty of states with down payment assistance programs and other incentives to attract young people to live in their cities, Vision 2030 hopes it can pave a clearer path for the future.
I have personal connections to this town. Steve has a personal connection to this town. And every town sort of just needs somebody that's looking after it in this way. And it feels good to do it.
I would say this, I probably am the most blessed man that's ever walked this earth. I was blessed with a great childhood. And now there comes a point in your life when you want to assist people, help them enjoy the same things you enjoyed.
Steve Glenn he's a visionary. He's one of those guys that sees something needs to be done, and he's going to attack the problem and get things done. And I can't say enough good things about Aaron either. He comes from good stock also. He's a local boy as far as we're concerned, you know.
And your grandma used to come out with June Stewart and hunt on our farm.
Oh, it was your farm. I just told you that story.
He did just tell me. He wasn't lying.
When I first got this job, I'd walk around and I'd introduce myself, and people would say, I knew your grandparents. And they'd tell me a story about how great my grandma was. And they'd look in my eyes and they'd say, you have their same eyes? My grandpa made the baseball fields. And yeah, I don't know, I gotta calm down, but it's really great to matter.
Look, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely made some assumptions before I came out here. I think the realization that I've come to is that there's real promise in what Steve and Aaron are doing, mostly because they care so much. They're two people that have some real roots down in this community. They have memories here. They're not just these random businessmen that are looking to make a quick buck. They're people that genuinely care, and I think the residents of Pawnee City should take great comfort in that. Now, brass tacks, would I live here? Probably not, but I'm also a heathen from New Jersey. And so, while I might not live here, I can see why they have so many applicants at this point, and I can definitely understand why so many people are interested. There is some real appeal in terms of buying a brand new, beautifully built house, getting assistance on the down payment of that house, and then raising a family here. Will Vision 2030 work to turn things around here in Pawnee City? I don't know. Steve and Aaron definitely don't know. Nobody really knows. Only time will tell.
Got it.
All right, where is this $100 is the real question.
I'll give it to you.
This is the ceremonial.
Look at that. Aaron making extra money today.
Behind the story, you know. So
You don't have to, you want this back now that we've done the
no,
publicity?
no.